to a very special edition of The Conversation. My name is Graham, based in Manchester.
And I'm Malika in Norwich.
So by now you've probably watched the 4 episodes related to coronavirus. And obviously, as you know, me and Malika pre-record all the episodes, hence us still being in the same clothes as last week's episode. But we both just had a chat, as we do after every show, and said, I don't think we've closed the loop on it. So me and Malika have just kind of jumped on to this now to have a quick chat, just to kind of do a bit of reflection before we move on to our next episode. So Malika, I think what a great idea really to do this, don't you think?
I think so. I think it was really important to document that. Do you know what I mean? This whole pandemic situation. I've lived through other pandemics, and one of them we will be discussing in the course of a season. But this particular one needed to be talked about in various ways, and I think documented with our guests, which I'm really grateful they came on our
Absolutely.
podcast to share their experiences. But we feel it's time now that we kind of close that loop a bit, isn't it? It's time
I've
to
learned.
bring it to a close.
Yeah, I've learned so much just just recording these conversations the past kind of these 4 episodes. And I mean, we learned so much from Ricky in terms of our people, last time they were so apprehensive about being coming out of lockdown. I mean, obviously we know some people were just like, let's get out, they don't like, maybe a bit of cabin fever maybe, but some people we know are really apprehensive about going back out. And I shared my story of I was working from home. Now I'm working in an office, it's so much better for me. And I think that's really interesting. I mean, you, Malika, it's been different for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, totally. I think for me, it's been perhaps I've lived the pandemic, in a different way than most people because I'm quite now resilient with a lot of things, and I'll just adapt. So for me, okay, it's not been ideal being teaching from home, certainly live streaming lessons. It's not something that I knew how to do very well before, so I've learned that new skill. But the lockdown in itself didn't affect me in a negative way, actually, because of various factors. The fact that socially there's been an evolution in me that means that I'm very careful who I interact with now. And therefore, for me, not having contact with people unless I choose to is not necessarily a negative thing for me. But I understand that for a lot of people, having that happen to them overnight has posed a lot of problems and questions.
Absolutely.
So it's been a bit of a mixed bag, really. Some people will have enjoyed lockdown and all the things that it made them do due to lack of time that they didn't have before. And perhaps people who don't necessarily enjoy social interactions will probably have appreciated that time to be by themselves or with the close people that they trust, a bit like me, really, whilst others will have actually been completely overwhelmed by the whole situation and not being able to actually have routines to stick to and to stick by. So it's really that
Different, isn't
idea
it?
that it's been different for everybody, positives and negatives, but we can't claim that it's been one way for everybody because it hasn't been. It just hasn't been one way.
I think for me, when I had a housemate during lockdown 1, I think that was different because obviously, I was working from home, but I had some interaction in the evening. Do you know what I mean? I could have a conversation with someone, just have a chat and stuff. We're doing virtual calls at the time, and that's fine. But having to have that human interaction was beneficial for me. I think it really hit me the most when they moved out, and I was like, okay, I'm on my own for a little bit, and that's where it hit me. And I was glad to be back in an office because I'm that type of person where I like to be chatty and bubbly and speaking to people.
We're like that.
So it's fine. And I think another positive out of this pandemic is me and you. Finally forced us to do these podcasts because we can never find the time. Now we are still just as busy as we were previous to lockdown, but we've managed to do it because I think we've forced ourselves, okay, we need to connect better in a virtual world. So it's enabled us to do this, what we've always wanted to do. So I think that's a positive for us, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, that's definitely the thing I'm taking forward, and the thing I cherish at the moment is that interaction with you. And that goes with saying with the people I really want to be interacting with. I feel a lot of the times we are made to interact. Well, certainly from my perspective, I'm made to interact with people that perhaps are committed to misunderstanding me, judging me, placing a label on me, and will perhaps, and that goes with what I'm wearing here, will perhaps be wearing their prejudice on their face, and in such an obvious way that they don't even realize the way they address me, but I'm actually picking that up. I'm still there and I'm picking it up, and I'm not. And so for me, it's been really positive to actually enable me to seek those positive relationships that I know I have and foster them, and just literally forget about all of the rest, because I'm not made to interact with those and I don't wish to. So it's been extremely positive from that perspective for me.
And I think that's what Joe and Michelle and Nick were all saying about, you surround yourselves in people that are your type of person, so to speak, forgetting about labeling and all the rest of it. You surround yourself with people who you
Your
want to
tribe.
engage with.
Yeah.
I'm not a label person. I think I just can't, we are going to talk about this in the future in terms about the fact that, once you have one label, that seems to be your label, forget about everything else. And we know me and you have had very long conversations about intersectionality, and I can't wait for us to do the podcast on that one. But, meeting Joe and Nick has been fantastic for me, because the fact that you've seen from the front line how it has impacted people and how they're approaching that, and same with Nick, but it all turns around. We can learn from this.
Yeah, we can. And that's
the thing.
Effectively what we're doing here, isn't it? In our project, you and I, the conversations, bringing these people that are going to teach us something, from whom we can learn, that are going to help us grow and develop into being better human beings, and forget about all these labels and negativity that we constantly face in our day-to-day, in society. So for me, definitely a big blessing being with you, doing this, and talking to people, having meaningful conversations with people who can bring something to the conversation that we wish to have.
And that's what I've learned to take, from this, having doing this with you, and it's been great. I can, we joke and jest, but it's great the fact that I look forward to doing these on our recording sessions. We catch up, we meet new people, and we're both bringing different people into the mix, aren't we? It's not all one-sided, and it just goes to show how resilient we are as a society, that we can do this, have meaningful conversations, as you said, and actually take something from it. We're not just blabbering on for half an hour each episode, and that's it. There's always been that call to action part of it as well, and I think that's why me and you want to do just this little bit and say, we are learning, and we hope that you are learning too.
Yeah, 100%. It will be what it will be in terms of where we go forward. I think we are constantly shaping this, aren't we, you and I, in our conversations, in the way we evolve and the way we deal with things. And I think that's what I like about it. It is that idea that nothing is set in stone. We shape it and we discuss it, and it develops in the way, in the direction that we want it to develop.
Definitely, so absolutely. And there's still more to come, isn't there, Malika?
Yeah, there is. I mean, we are looking at doing a season 2 and season 3, isn't it? And you're asking me to record over the summer, Graham.
I know. We need to be a bit more organised, maybe. So we're letting people into our secrets now, aren't we?
Yeah, we are. But I think it doesn't really change a thing. We are just creating this as we go along, and that's the nature of it. And I like this idea that we are free to create our content, you and I, aren't we? This idea that we're not guided by specific things that are going to ask us to put a damper on things. And I can't be contrived. And that's what I like with you, is that you allow me to be me, just as I allow you to be you. And that is the amazing part of it, is that we can just express ourselves and it's accepted.
and that's what I love about this, us doing it, is that it's just me and you having a chat with people that we know. I know in time we'll probably be able to bring special guests on, and people start reaching out for people to come and talk to us. But at the moment, it's really good the fact that we're doing this for ourselves and for other people, and we can bring our friends into the mix to kind of help us take us on our little journey, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. And it is a journey, isn't it? Nothing's going to um, nothing, as I said, nothing's set in stone. We will see where it takes us.
Definitely.
And that's the beauty of it. Yeah,
absolutely. But yeah, season 2 and 3 is quite exciting. The fact that we're talking about it rather than actually, it's not set in stone, as you say.
Yeah, it's not we'll discuss whatever contemporary matter we feel needs to be brought to the fore. There's a lot of, you and I always kind of like detect those things that need to be discussed, where there is a spin put on things perhaps out there that is not necessarily representative of the day-to-day conditions and the day-to-day lives of us as human beings, fellow human beings.
Absolutely. So I think
wait.
what we'll do, should we end it on that note, Malika, and hopefully we can continue going, can't we?
Yeah, we will watch this space as long as we enjoy it, Graham, and that's what it's all about. It's us just enjoying ourselves and having our guests on, and hopefully having people listening to us enjoying what we do.
Absolutely.
And if they don't, then
we're enjoying ourselves.
That's my favorite emoji that I always use these days, isn't it? Everywhere. Oh well,
absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
So
you go. Sorry, you close us out.
I was just going to say I'm sending you much love, Graham, as always, and I'll see you in the next show.
Absolutely. So Malika, thank you so much thank you for being there for me as well, and it's great, and it's great to see you doing these. So as we say, thank you. I'm getting all tongue-tied now. So basically, we're saying thank you very much for listening.
We're saying goodbye. Yeah.
And goodbye. See you later.
Thanks for putting up with us, and much love to you all as well, as always. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.